Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
What's up, Mel? What's up, Joe?
What's up, Mel? What's up, Brandy? How y'all weekend been?
My weekend was great. Had a really good weekend, really good week, very productive, exciting. Got to see my peoples in the Bronx, got to see my son graduate, class of 2020. So, yes, big accomplishments this weekend and lots of turning up, lots of drinking and laughing and really enjoying my time. So, I'm happy. How about you guys?
Mel, let you go first.
What did I do this weekend? I think I just caught up on some assignments for school, clean the house, just preparing for the week. Nothing. I didn't do any turning up like B over here.
You know I gotta turn up, girl.
Right.
I was turning up. I was a little boring today and yesterday.
That's all right.
I was relaxing, so it was good. What about
That's
you?
That's not relaxing, Joe. I mean, man, well, that's schoolwork and crap. She had the cerebral turn up. She was in the books.
Well, I wasn't moving my body around and running crazy. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Always gotta use the brain.
How about you, Joe?
My weekend was interesting. I actually went on a hiking trail and I had an experience.
What kind of experience you had at the top of that trail?
It was interesting because it was a point in the trail where I kind of got lost and I saw another female person. She was Asian.
A female person?
When did they make those?
So
where can you find one?
So I'm trying to come where she's going, and she's trying to come up where I'm going. And she looks at me, and she turns right back around, and hauls ass. She's gone. She think I'm like a rapist in the woods or something. Like she disappears. So I'm walking. I'm like, okay, cool. I think this is the way out. Mm-hmm. And she is. I'm looking for her, and she is gone. Like she literally ran until she ended up at a dead end, and she had to come back my way. And then I stepped out her way, like, all right, go ahead and go. And that was very interesting. But the trail was kind of fun, you know what I'm saying? I actually realized that I like hiking now, so that's what's up.
That's cool.
Was this a date? Was this a date? You know I gotta be all in the business.
Just going on the trail.
Just a random trail?
By yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Did you have gray sweatpants on?
Yeah, I had gray sweatpants.
That's why that lady ran. She saw those gray. She saw those gray sweatpants. She got nervous, Joe.
Hey, I had black sweatpants.
Okay.
Well, that's good. It sounds like both of you guys had a very good weekend.
We did. High five, Joe.
Yeah.
So before we get into today's topic, we actually have a special guest that's going to be joining us soon, Lorraine Kamisha. She's going to be joining the podcast in a few moments. But do you guys want to talk about, like, I feel like the last podcast we did, because, you know, off last week because of Father's Day. How was your Father's Day, Joe?
Yeah, happy Father's Day again. Mm-hmm. And how was your Father's Day?
Father's Day was cool. It was just like any other day. It was just relaxed. My son, he was over. He was the only one with me that weekend, and pretty much he was just like, he woke up the next morning and he was like, "No, I really ain't got no money to get you anything, but I'm gonna clean up the house." I was like, all right.
That's nice.
So he went out the way. I was like, I wouldn't want you. I mean that. So. So he just did his thing. He washed dishes and all that. I was like, okay, look at you, boy. So he was doing his thing, but it was pretty, like I said, it was pretty cool. Just laid back, quiet, like any other day. I don't be expecting nothing probably to go down. You know what I'm saying? But it was so.
Okay, that's definitely a plus. The help around the house.
No doubt about it. So yeah, like I said, it was just cool. And, definitely loving all the Father's Day texts, calls. So that was also awesome.
Okay.
What about Juneteenth? What did you guys do to celebrate Juneteenth? Hey, Celinda.
Hey, Celinda. Well, I worked for June. I ain't shit. I was at work for Juneteenth. Yes.
Hey,
What's up, Daphne?
I was singing. Hey, Daphne. I was singing Negro spirituals the whole way through.
That's right, because it was on a Friday and I was not off.
I wasn't off either.
Yeah,
So,
that doesn't apply yet till next year.
Right, and it also doesn't apply to all businesses. It's up to the company's discretion to celebrate it as a holiday. So it's gonna probably be like a floating holiday, like Martin Luther King Day and other holidays.
Right.
And I heard it's by state as well. So not every state is recognizing it. But I'm gonna take it off every year. I feel like it should be just as important as 4th of July, Memorial Day. If they want to give up a holiday, like swap one, we can get rid of Columbus Day like today and implement Juneteenth, because I think it's way more important and has more value than Christopher Columbus, who discovered, cross-eyed, all up and down America. But yeah, so if there's any petitions out there to sign, I'm willing to sign them. I'll start one. I actually did start one on, I forgot the name of the website, like free petition or something. .com. Change.com. I'm all fucked up. I'm like free petitions, but yeah, change.org. I think that it should be a national holiday. That's just my thought, my opinion.
Yeah, no question about it. There's no excuse not for it to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's what's up.
Yeah.
So do you have plans for the 4th of July then? Are you celebrating that or not?
Oh yeah, I'm off.
Okay.
So what?
That's how I'm celebrating. Shit. Thanks for the day off. But
what day is that? I'm sorry.
Exactly. I know we have a 3-day weekend, but I don't know exactly why. But anyway.
Right. But yeah, I have a 3-day weekend as well, so that's gonna be dope. Yeah.
Okay, well, I do see our special guest backstage, Lorraine Kamisha. And I'm actually in one of her Facebook groups, Back to School Divas, and she has a few different things going on. So I wanted to bring her on. Well, all of us, not just me. All of us wanted to bring, we like to have different guests come on and promote their businesses and, support Black business. That's why, that's one of our people here at MelBee, Seeing a Cup of Joe. So we want everyone to welcome our guest.
Hey, hi Lorraine.
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good, and you?
Good. I'm good. Having a good Sunday.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on, being a part of the show.
Thanks for having me.
I was just letting the viewers know that I'm actually in one of your groups that you have here on Facebook called Back to School Divas. Can you tell everybody about that group?
Yes, absolutely. So Back to School Divas is a group that I started in 2018, and it's for women who are going back to school. And I did a group specifically for women because as one myself that went back to school, there were a whole lot of different challenges that I faced while I was going back to school. And I didn't really have a lot of avenues to really address those challenges. So I wanted to create a group for women who are going through the same challenges, so that we can like vent and talk to each other about them, or even sometimes just get that extra push of motivation that we need that oftentimes we don't really get from our close circle because they just don't understand what we're going through.
Right.
That's what's up. So how do you have
super important?
You keep track of the numbers, like how many women you bring, how many women have you brought on so far, or have been pretty much part of that group?
But right now the group is at about 3,500. So in a couple of years we've grown pretty large. And it's still growing. So I'm really focusing on growing that group right now. Especially because right now with the COVID-19 and all that good stuff going on, it's created a lot of new issues that even I didn't experience. Going back to school and you got kids that are homeschooled now and you got to work from home. And now you go from
shaking her head like, oh boy,
it's a myth. Then you got to go from taking brick and mortar classes, and now you're forced to take online classes, and that can just be just disastrous, especially when you're taking some of those high level math and sciences and stuff like that. it can create a lot of stress. So, yeah, right.
Let me throw some holy water on you.
Right.
Bless her.
It's a big deal, and a lot of women are really struggling. Before COVID-19, but it's absolutely a struggle now.
That's what's up.
How do you think COVID-19 is going to affect education moving forward? Because a lot of people, they may be in a nursing program or wanting to be an architect. And during COVID-19, we kind of noticed that essential jobs became the forefront.
Right.
So people that wanted to be an architect or engineer, they were laid off during this time. So now they're starting to realize being a cashier or even nursing, a doctor, EMT, those are the jobs that are kind of not saying that, other jobs aren't essential, but these are the jobs that no matter what goes down, you're always going to be in business. So how do you think that's going to affect your group 1 and 2, just education overall?
Well, I really hope that, a lot of people have paid attention to what's going on during this time because, everybody who goes to college is not necessarily going back to college with a plan. Right. So right now, like you said, there are jobs that are essential and there's jobs that are not so essential during these times. So hopefully, people are taking note, and the women of my group are taking a look at this and saying, hey, maybe I should adjust my plan a little bit so that I always have that job security. Honestly, I hope that more people are taking a look at how things are going and deciding that they want to strike up on their own, or at least have some type of side income coming in, so that if something like this happens in the future, it won't be such a disaster to their livelihoods, actually. But as far as how education will change, I think we'll see more shifts towards the virtual learning. And I think that's a very good thing, actually, because I know when I was going back to school, I ended up stopped going to class. Really, I was in pharmacy school, and it took me 3-4 hours, just to get my kids ready, get them off to daycare, fight through ATL traffic, get to class. That's a 4-hour situation. So I was actually failing tests because I was not taking that same 4 hours to study. So when I stopped going to class, when I could actually, just stopped attending and listening to the recorded lessons, then I started making A's and B's on tests. So sometimes when we are adult students and we have other obstacles and other responsibilities and obligations, that ends up putting us at an unfair advantage. I used to say, I can't afford to get A's. I know I'm smart enough to in undergrad when I didn't have any kids. I wasn't married. I wasn't, running a business. I wasn't doing all these things. I was a star roll student. Now, all of a sudden, I'm struggling to pass. So hopefully with this COVID-19 situation, that universities will start offering and pour more resources into the online learning environment.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned that you were an entrepreneur. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about what you do?
Sure. And I'm definitely getting ready to give a class on this next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But what I do is a system called services arbitrage. So it's where you take the services of others and you advertise and promote that as a business. So let's say I have a plumbing company and I notice that they're struggling with getting clients. Then what I do is I make myself the middleman and get the clients and then pay the plumber.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So I'm a middleman. I'm in a bunch of different businesses.
Very important middleman.
So the class that you have coming up, what is that? I saw it because I'm a friend on Facebook, so I see a lot of the things that you post. But right. You mentioned that you have a class coming up. What is the class on?
Yes, it's called 40K in 30 days. So during the COVID-19 situation, a lot of businesses were, not doing so well, and they were having trouble finding clients. However, my business actually took a turn for the better, and we were able to do in the month of June $40,000 in 30 days.
Go girl!
For you.
So I have a team.
I need to sign up for this class.
Exactly.
I have a team of people, of course, so it's not just all me, but it just, it's truly a blessing to be able to, to be afloat and to be prospering during this time. So I definitely wanted to give that information out to those who are following me and those who are looking for other options during this time.
Nice.
So let me ask you this: so what's the future plan for your group? Like, do you have something in place? Like, if let's say somebody in the group needed help with books or something like that, and do you like spurge money out for that situation or whatever the case may be, or is that something?
Well, yes. Well, we are coming out with a tutoring service in the fall. So I'm going to be launching a contest at the beginning of August, which is going to give away a free semester of math tutoring. So that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. And then hopefully next year we'll be able to start getting our like nonprofit stuff in order. I'm working on that. That's not something that I am, well knowledgeable about right now, but I'm working with another team to take care of that for me, so that we can start giving away scholarships and providing some programs for like childcare and stuff like that, because that's a big need in this
country.
Yeah. It all the time. That's
right. So I enjoy hanging with the ladies, and it takes me back to some of the struggles.
And fella.
I'm sorry.
No, you said ladies, and I said and fella. But go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm going to talk about the group.
I'm like, oh.
I see you.
Don't forget about Joe over there.
Even drinking. But yeah, that's what's up. I mean, that's a very I think it's a very great concept, to have a support group like that, because definitely I know there's plenty of women out here that are in need of that support and that extra push. They feel like they're doing it alone, and I think that's pretty awesome. And then all the things that you put forward, forward, and trying to make it better and bringing on more people. I think that it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it comes down to how people are, we always putting each other down, trying to get over on each other. So this is definitely one of the things that's needed in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I will say I've been a member of this group for I'm not sure how long. I want to say a year or so. Mm-hmm. And I can say that the women there are super supportive. As far as like if someone says, oh, it's certain things that we post on our regular social media that may come across as annoying. Like, oh, I got an A in all of my classes, and everybody's friends and family looking like, oh, what? You always get A's, right. But it's good to have a place where you can go where it's going to be like 1,000 people saying, go girl, congratulations, and or I got a C and I failed the class. Don't worry, I suck at math too. I think last week, I actually posted something that I needed help with, and so many people, even you, Lorraine, came to the rescue because I didn't know the first thing about what I need to do for this assignment. So I think I would encourage people to join that are even if you're not in school and you're thinking about going to school, being around like minds, I feel like it's super important when you're trying to achieve any goal.
Right. And we have women there that are from all parts of their back to school journey. We have some women that are thinking about going to school and not sure what they want to major in. We have women who have, been going to school for the last 5 or 6 years and they still haven't graduated because they've got stuff going on with family and all that good stuff. And we have women who are graduated and thinking about going back. So, it doesn't matter what part of the journey you're on. We're there to support you because we've all been there at some point of time or another.
Absolutely. So let our viewers know how they can get in contact with you and
join the group.
Email, join your group.
Yeah, and join that class that you have coming up.
Right. So the group, you can find us on Facebook at Back to School Divas. We have a fan page and also a group. So if you just request to join and fill out the information, then we'll be seeing you there shortly. And then as far as the class, you can find me on Facebook. So you can look up Lorraine Kamisha, or you can do facebook.com / Dr. Lorraine Kamisha, abbreviate Dr. Lorraine Kamisha. And you'll see plenty of posts for that class. And I'm looking forward to it. It'll be about 50 people. I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to start a business from scratch and then give you some ideas of some businesses that you can actually start. And a lot of these businesses take no capital at all. It's as simple as connecting a seller with a buyer and then scaling from there.
Appreciate
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you and all that you're doing.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was so dope. I love anything about education. I think it's super important, especially for the Black community. Educating each other, educating our children, and just sharing stuff like that is important. Like you said, Mel, before, sometimes we need to be in a community of people of like minds to like move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially if you come from certain backgrounds where education might not be something that they feel is important, but you do. So having groups like that will definitely give you that support. So I suggest anybody out there to definitely follow and, you know, pick out what you need to go on your journey, continue your journey, or start it.
And I think groups like that are good because a lot of, especially after 30, you know, we all have this pressure of having to be someone or be in a career. And we tend to second guess ourselves, like, oh, I'm too old to do blah, blah, blah. I might not be able to do this, blah, blah, blah. But being in a group like that with so many women, you see posts with women in their 50s saying, oh, I want to go to school to be a lawyer. Do you think I'm too old? And everybody's like, no, girl, go for it, you know? And just to see that support is good because even though we might ignore that from our own friends and family, they just telling me what I want to hear. You know, it's good to know that there's, you know, hope after 30.
There's hope after 30, y'all. After 40, 50, 60, whatever. I was in nursing class with people that were like in their 50s. And, you know, so it's never too late to educate. That's my new slogan. Never too late to educate.
All right.
Y'all heard it here first on MelBee and a cup of Joe.
All right. All right, Brandy Obama.
Woo! So let's get into today's topic, guys. We know our viewers are waiting, and we'll have some new ones coming in.
Yes.
B, what's today's topic?
So today we're going to talk about cancel culture. Canceled, as in canceled, X'd out, done, shutting your shit down. Canceled culture. How did it originate? Where did it come from? And is it ruining Black culture? I want to say that cancel culture, to me, what I feel like it's doing and what it is definitely coming from Black people. We have a long history of being oppressed, victimized. We know the history. It's not a great history. So this cancel culture thing came up when a Black person or a person of color is being racially profiled, whether they're shopping in a store, trying to get an apartment. Anyway, they're being stereotyped because of their color. And so they take to media, social media, and they try to have that business or that person canceled, whether it's lose their job, the business is shut down, the people have to leave their apartment complex, whatever it is, that's cancel culture. So, you know me, I'm very fair, I'm very 50-50, I see both sides. So in the beginning, I saw a couple of stories where, you know, people were, you know, at a restaurant, Black couples at a restaurant, they are being served by a waiter and they may have been treated terrible because of their color. Fine. People take to social media, that waiter or that restaurant gets shut down. But now I'm noticing a trend that no matter what you do or what you say to a Black person, they will find any reason to cancel you. So it's just amazing how things just get out of hand. So over the weekend, spiral out of control. So over the weekend, there was a story, and I'm going to pull it up, of a young Black guy who I guess got flipped off.
Oh, yes.
He was driving, and I didn't mean to make that big. Sorry, y'all. He was driving and he got flipped off by this white woman, and he proceeded to follow her. Can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you gotta close out that Pornhub thing.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry, I had to cancel that. I think I did that correctly. But yeah, so let me try it again. Yeah, so she So the guy was driving. She flipped him off. He didn't like it. He followed the lady, and he proceeded to antagonize her by filming her and calling her Karen, which I think is another derogatory term. That's like calling a black person a nigger. Y'all don't like it? Oh well, my opinion. Calls her Karen and was like, "Why'd you flip me off?" And she's screaming, very erratic. She was definitely over the top. However, you know, he was wrong. He was in the wrong. And he took to social media to get her canceled. For what? Because she flipped him off? I flip people off all the time. I yell shit out my window all the time at bad drivers. That does not equal me being canceled or fired from my job.
Mel said you got to get the Pornhub off the laptop.
I can see it. I know, y'all. I'm sorry. That shit is unlimited. No. Listen. So yeah, so I feel like that we're taking it to a whole nother level, because when there's things or people that needs to be canceled, people are not going to take it seriously, because you're canceling everybody for anything. Everything is not a black and white issue. Not every white person is racist, and it's just making us as people look so weak, and just y'all calling people Karens, talking about they snitches. You snitching. You snitching on a whole business over, someone treating you a certain way. And I feel like it's just ridiculous and it's out of control. So I'm going to sit here and try to pull up this thing, Majig, one more time. I deleted the Pornhub, Mel. So again.
What do you think? Can we talk? Can we talk about what we think?
Go ahead. Y'all can talk.
What do you think about what B said?
Oh, well, for the most part, I think it's gonna be rare. It's gonna be rare cases with anything where you're gonna have a situation where somebody's gonna try to take advantage. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be far in between. I know it's starting to happen a lot more because of the social environment we are in more, or the social environment that we in currently. But I think for the most part, I in my view, I think it's a positive thing, because you gotta. As a culture, when do you start holding people accountable for just saying whatever they want to say about us, or doing whatever they want to do to us, and not be held responsible? Because we can look at it at decades of periods where that hurts our reputation as Black people. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody could make up anything about us and be like, "Oh, well, they're intimidating, they're disrespectful," and when they put that stuff out there, it becomes truth. That kind of hurts our image. So I think, in a sense, holding people responsible and letting them know, hey, you just can't. We're people too. We're part of this culture, this culture of this country and everything too. So you can't just treat us special, or if you talk to us any kind of way. We deserve the same respect you give to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I think, since being in a cancel culture, where like I said, with the right mindset and the right intentions, I think that's a great power to have.
What, cancel culture? Canceling people?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You think that's a great power for us to have, to cancel? Just walk around like you cancel, because
it's. I mean, like I said, it's just in a right situation. Like I said, it goes for any culture. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna always have people that think that they could just say or do whatever they want against us. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, our reputation is on the line as well. Reputation is everything when it comes to the culture. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, for people that we feel like is abusing, like that situation right there, I saw that video. I was like, that's ridiculous, because he had flipped off all the time just for driving. You know what I'm saying? And if you wouldn't do that to another Black person, so obviously it was targeted. You know what I'm saying? And it was definitely extra. But I think for us, we have the opportunity to point those people out that's abusing that power, versus just not saying nothing about it at all.
Well,
Mel,
I got something to say. First, I want to address the Karen thing. It is not, absolutely not name as the N-word. Karen is an actual name, given to someone at birth that was turned into a slur, quote unquote, if that's what people are calling it now. It's not even technically a slur. It's a name like you would call, hate to say Joe, but any old Joe Schmo, Bob the Builder. Like, people use names all the time to kind of like give people an idea of a certain behavior, But I will say that away from that, I feel like cancel culture is not only for white people. We cancel our own people all the time. Like, there's a social media person, B. Simone. I don't know if you guys heard of her. She was canceled not once, but twice, like in the last month. First, she was canceled because she was on a podcast talking about how she doesn't date. I don't know if it was a pod. Yeah, it was Nick Cannon, I believe. She was on his show, and she talked about why she doesn't date 9-to-5 men. She can't date them because they can't understand her hustle as far as being an entrepreneur and not having a set schedule. She works at like 3:00 in the morning. Everybody came for her saying, oh, how you going to downplay men that work 9-to-5, blah, blah, blah. But my thing is, that's her preference.
Yeah.
So what? Like, that's like me saying, that's like somebody saying they don't like to date short guys. Or Joe, he always talking about girls with big butts and stuff like that. Like, we're going to cancel him because of that. Like, that's his personal preference, Then she got canceled again recently because she said something in 2017 about trannies or transvestites. It was something, they were on a podcast again, and they were talking about how in Atlanta you can't really use social media because, well, she said you can't, if you swipe up, you might see a tranny. Those are her words, not mine. But then she goes on to say, she has friends that are in the LGBT community, blah, blah. But I will say that cancel culture, I want to agree with Joe and say that it does have its benefits, but I also agree with B saying, like, sometimes it goes a little bit too far because, we're, like she said, we can't just walk around and say, you're canceled, like, and banish them from the kingdom. Like, where do all the canceled people go? Exactly. They're going to be disgruntled, they're going to be mad at the world. And anybody that comes into their, immediate circle or area is going to feel the wrath of their being canceled. Right. So it's always a downside to something, And
I think the biggest thing, real quick, is that I think people don't know the difference between having an opinion and actually hurting somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have an opinion, you're entitled to have your opinion. But if you have ill intentions, like situations where a cancel culture situation happened where it was justified, then we'll have to know the difference between opinion and somebody being malicious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where in the case where you're just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna enact this, and this is what it is, and you're gonna bring it out. So, but go ahead, B.
No, you're absolutely right. But I wanted to go back. Mel Salma said something about freedom of speech and people calling you whatever it is, a nigga, a cracker, whatever it is, a Karen, a Joe, a Schmo. Technically, it's freedom of speech. This whole new thing came out about where you couldn't call a gay person. I'm sorry if I'm being politically incorrect, but whatever. You can't call a gay person a faggot. You can't call a transsexual tranny. You can't say anything. Everybody is hypersensitive, and that's the big problem. You have comedians that are being canceled because they're using their platform as a comedian, and they find these things funny. These politically incorrect jokes, they find them funny, and they're being canceled because they can't be funny. They can't say things that are quote unquote offensive. Like you said go back to the word Karen and nigger. Damn, I use that ER. That shit really hurt my chest just now.
You felt that in your soul.
Shit, my chest is beating. Hold on, let me.
You put that R in it.
I put that ER. I put that hard ER on that bitch. But no, I think it's not the same. Okay, we know Karen's a name that they gave at birth. However, at the end of the day, we call each other nigga all day. We do it. But as soon as a white person says it, it's like, what did you say? Oh, you must mean that in a derogatory way. No, they don't. Some of them don't. They mean it just the same way we mean it. But because it's coming from a different race of person, it automatically becomes a racial problem. So that word Karen to me now, because you already put the negative spin on it. If you're a Karen, it's like you are a racist white woman, right? Nigga means ignorant person. So if you acting ignorant in the street and someone white calls you that word, you can't get mad, right? Because the definition means ignorant. Or can you get mad? So what I mean, what this all boils down to, I'm not saying we should be calling each other names at all, especially the word nigga, especially the word cracker, like Ishmael said in the comments. I think all those words should be canceled. But the behaviors behind it, the intent behind it should also be canceled. The hypersensitivity from the blacks, the gays, the straights, and everybody needs to be canceled. Because that's the problem. At the end of the day, it's freedom of speech. You cut me off, it's gonna be fuck you. If you want to follow me back to my house and put a camera in my face and I have the right to bear arms and I feel threatened and you get shot, then that's on you too. You know? So we all have to like kind of reel ourselves back and to remember that we're all humans and everybody has freedom of speech and everybody has the right to say what they want. If you don't like it, it's up to you to control that situation. You have to get some therapy and some help if you want to cancel somebody because they flipped you the bird. It's ridiculous to me. And this is
I think that people are getting canceled for way more important reasons and issues other than, calling the cops on somebody because, you walking your dog without a leash.
Okay, but before you continue, I'm sorry. This is really quick. We had an incident. Black girl goes to, where was she? Waffle House. The lady was being an asshole. She was trying to charge her for utensils. The girl didn't want to pay for the utensils. The lady at the Waffle House called the cops on her, got her arrested. The cops came in, they violated the girl, stripped her naked, embarrassed. She got locked up, whatever. What did Black people do? They wanted to cancel Waffle House, not that Waffle House, but all Waffle Houses. So now you're going to cancel all Waffle Houses because that particular Waffle House had one incident with one person. That to me makes no sense because now you're canceling all those Waffle Houses. Those Waffle Houses employ Black people. They employ people that are coming out of prison, like feds and stuff, like coming out of the feds. Parolees, they employ people. So why cancel a whole chain when you just should cancel that one particular Waffle House or just that one particular employee? That's where I don't get. Like they're saying, oh, shut down all the Chick-fil-A's because they support Trump.
Brandy not letting nobody talk today.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the time. I'm only 2 minutes and 16 seconds in. I'm actually looking at the time. But what I'm saying is that when you cancel a whole entire chain of people, you have to remember who it affects. It affects people of color a lot of times. But go ahead, Melissa and Joe. I'm sorry. Let me take my little.
I'm gonna let Joe talk because he was itching to say something.
I definitely was referring to that. As you pointed out, I think for the most part, when they say we need to cancel all the Waffle House, I think that pretty much sends a message to Waffle House like, hey, you need to change your policies versus it being like actually closing it, the whole chain down. You know what I'm saying? So when if you just say, if you make it just particular for that store, then it's not solving any potential issues with Waffle House line of training. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they need to re-educate and retrain their employees on how to handle certain situations. So I think when people apply like don't literally mean we need to boycott the whole thing. I mean, they can literally mean that, but not literally close everything down. I think it's just too important. You know what I'm saying? It poses change amongst the group in that system. Like, hey, we coming for you. We recognize there's an issue. So what you're gonna do about it? Because now we coming for you. Because now what you're talking about, we're gonna stop spending our money there. You know what I'm saying? So think, definitely they gotta something's definitely gotta be said all across the board so the whole company can feel it and not just a particular isolated incident. That's it.
So go ahead, Mel.
What I was gonna say was sometimes people need to get canceled. But before I get to that point, I'm gonna say what I don't like about cancel culture is the fact that people are digging up stuff from people that are famous from like 3 years ago, 5 years ago. You become famous, or anybody, even us, like when this podcast blow up, because it is, right? Okay. When it blow up,
give my good side.
People might feel, want to dig into our past and find out what we said back in the day, 10 years ago, whatever. And I feel like that's the problem with cancel culture, because people evolve, people change. My thoughts today may not be the same. I might not feel the same way 10 years from now, or even tomorrow. When I watch this back, I might be like, why did I say that?
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes people need to be canceled, like R. Kelly. How long have Black people gave him a pass on things that he was doing? And it took a movement. It took people, coming together and canceling him, for him to even be prosecuted, for him to even be brought up on charges that and they found so much stuff. Bill Cosby, Jeffrey Epstein. I just watched a whole documentary on him, and he's been doing this stuff for cancel culture. None of his colleagues or his community or people in his circle cancel him at all. It took years and years and years. And sometimes,
word, because I love me some R. Kelly too, Mel. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, no, we're not going to leave Robert out of this, because
leave Robert alone.
I mean, in our defense, when he was on his dirty old man stuff, we was kids. It was up to the people that was, that's our age right now to say, y'all don't need to be listening to R. Kelly. He's a rapist. Nobody, now it's too late. He done became a part of everybody's life. Everybody done sung his song at their graduation.
I believe I can fly. But
I feel like cancel culture it might be annoying because there's no limit, there's no boundaries on cancel culture. You could literally get canceled for anything.
Right. And that's the problem.
And that's the problem. But at the same time, you can't take the bad without the good. You can't take the good without the bad. So in some ways it's necessary, in other ways it's uncalled for.
Right. I just want to go back to a point that Joe, real quick, that you made. You said that all the Waffle Houses should be retrained because of that one incident. So let's say on your job, let's say on your job, you work for Cablevision or whatever. And one guy on your job in Minnesota is a cokehead or a thief. He starts stealing stuff from the company, or went to a client's house and stole something. Now, should all of you guys be canceled, and they close all the Optimums or Cablevisions down because of that one incident with that one person that stole that one item? Or should that one person be held accountable?
Well, I mean, the one person is definitely going to be held accountable, but it's going to also bring it to the attention of the company. We're like, okay, really, really vet who you're hiring, so we can prevent this from further happening, because it's so disparaging to our customers. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how they would look at it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a situation like that where it's that extreme and it causes somebody to get hurt, or it causes somebody, it should be brought to their attention. Okay, we need to re-look at our hiring practices, and are we really going through this thoroughly, and we hiring the right people?
Hold on, not to interrupt you. I'm not talking about a training. I said close. They wanted Waffle House closed down. They wanted to shut all Waffle Houses down. That's different from training and saying, doing an ethic training or OSHA, HIPAA, whatever. No, this is a whole different situation. You're trying to get rid of a whole entire chain. Company.
I think that's not. I think for the most part, that's the term that's a term that's being used, because realistically, we're not going to make the company shut down because you said so. You know,
we are though. Have you been not watching what's been going on? People have been. I say some of them statues need to come down, but they're ripping statues down. They're getting businesses closed down. People are losing their jobs. People are losing a lot of stuff. It could be but when it starts to affect us as a people, and I'm gonna tell you how. A lot of these companies hire black people. Black people, unfortunately, we have not gotten to that position of power where we're hiring a bunch of people, millions of people.
Well, we need to give us the push.
Okay, so now we're going to cancel everybody. Let's cancel everybody. Where do we begin? Who's going to hire us tomorrow? Say we cancel the big hospitals or the big corporations that's hiring a lot of us. I'm not saying they don't need to be canceled. Some of them do. But if we keep this trend going, right? Because I tried. I said, let's try to buy black for one day. 24 hours. I'm talking about everything black. I mean, you're down to the bricks that are laid on your building, down to the paint on your walls. You go out there and you try to do that before you cancel everybody, or vice versa. Let's cancel everybody and then try to stick just being black. And let's see how far we get in this world. So before we put the horse before the carriage, or the carriage before the horse, however, let's step back sometimes and say, you know what? We are in a position of power. They are listening to us. Let's use this platform in a positive way to get us somewhere where we can move on and actually do something for our community instead of just canceling everybody because I didn't like the way you did that.
Maybe that's the only way we're gonna be able to rise up. If we gotta cancel everybody, we gotta cancel out the competition.
You know, and start from with what?
It's a lot of people do it. It's black doctors, it's black lawyers, it's black plumbers, it's black architects, it's a lot.
Is there a black water company? Is there a black electrical company? I'm being serious because I looked this stuff up. There's not a black oil company. There's not a black, like the necessities, the essentials that we need.
That you know of.
I looked it up. I really looked it up. I really was looking it up.
What I'm saying is that it's a lot of things that are on the rise. And I don't really feel like just because me and you and Joe might say, you know what, I'm not watching cable no more. It's canceled. That don't mean that everybody that's watching us is going to cancel it. That doesn't mean that they're going to lose. Black people are the minority. It's still going to be people that's supporting that business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really feel like it's that extreme to where, you know, we cancel something and then now we got to fend for ourselves. You know, because there's always going to be the coons or whatever you want to call it. There's always going to be people that's not with a particular movement, you know. But I will say that the fact that people are taking initiative to say, I'm not going to use certain products anymore unless it's black owned is what we need to do in order to push people to open up more businesses, to become entrepreneurs, to say, you know what, there's a market in this. People are not buying as much stuff from such and such company. Let me open up my own so that people will come to me. It's almost like a global awakening that's happening right now. And I feel like, yes, there are downsides to cancel culture, but we can't fight the process. Like, everything was written already. Like, I like to believe that, you know, we're in the present, but the future is already done. So we don't really know what is happening to move us in the direction that we need to go. You know, everybody needs to have, you know, of course, being an individual and make decisions based on what they feel like is right for their lives. But people need to get with the program and start building and start, you know, creating opportunities for ourselves so that we won't have to depend on these companies to cancel. We won't have to, you know, we won't have to depend on, you know, going to a place where we're going to be discriminated against.
Right. And then,
what were you going to say, Joe?
And then, you know, we can also support other groups that have more of our agenda in mind. That's how we form some, you know, form of power for us. You know what I'm saying? So if one group doesn't do it, there's always another option. It don't necessarily have to be black. We would love for it to be black, but if it's not, we could. If you come down to gas company, light companies, you have options. So if somebody fits more of the agenda and is willing to take care of you and take care of the culture and understand, okay, we have respect for what you believe in, and that's cool. I have yet to see a $1 billion company get shut down because black people said shut it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've only seen individuals be affected by it, by the cancel culture, and that's pretty much to the biggest extent. When we was boycotting Gucci when they came out with that crazy ass clothing line.
Or H&M.
Yeah.
Just with H&M alone, how people want us to cancel H&M.
Yeah. And people like, they left like about a month, and T.I. and all them came out. Was like, yo, stop spending your money with it. And what Mayweather do? I'm going to Gucci. You know,
right? So that just kind of proves my point. That is just like a bunch of fluff. It's a bunch of stomping of the feet. Oh, you're canceled because blah 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 blah. Like I said, there's some cases people need to be canceled, like Starbucks, for an instance, when they call the cops on those black guys. That was unnecessary.
They did a retraining.
So, like you also said, that it's never going to be like a fully official cancel because we don't have that much power. But this is what I observe. The more you cancel, the more every little thing you do is making us look somewhat handicapped. And I mentioned that before with the whole writing Black Lives Matter in yellow paint that you can see from fucking space. What does that do for us as people? It's the same thing. No offense to anybody that's handicapped. Please don't take this the wrong way. But it's the same thing as putting a handicap sticker on your damn license plate. Something is wrong with me. I need to show everybody something is wrong with me because I have this sticker, this mark on me. Black Lives Matter. You know, what does Black Lives Matter mean today to me? When I hear that, I think our lives matter, but I also think cancel culture. I also think of a lot of other things that might not be pushing us forward. And I want to see us be moved forward. I want to see those big companies and corporations and those Black Wall Street. I want to see all of those things rise from this. I don't want to be stuck in this little game of rip this statue down, get this Karen gone, cancel her because she looked at me funny. I don't want to be in that. I want to move forward.
You don't have to be in it. It's like it's all in your mind.
But hold on, no, it's not. It's not. And I'm gonna tell you how I know. Since this has started, I've went to Starbucks plenty of times, thousands of times. Since this started, I have gotten 2 free gift cards just for asking 2 simple questions. You were on the phone with me the other day, but never before though. So I feel like it's like a sensitive thing. When they see me, oh my God, good morning. How are you? Do you need an extra straw? Like they're being extra nice. And I feel it. No, but I don't want that. What do you mean? It's phony. It's not authentic. It's not authentic. It's not real. It's a phony thing. And it's because, it's because of the whole, there's something wrong with Black people. They are sensitive because of what happened to them in the future. So I'm going to be extra nice to them. I don't want nobody treating me like that. That's like being in a relationship with somebody and he's only treating you good because you're handicapped or something is wrong with you. So he treats you nice and he's being nice to you, but deep down inside, he really doesn't give a fuck. I'd rather you be a racist in my face than fake racist behind my back. I'm sorry. But that's just me.
I feel like that comment right there is like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. Because the whole Black Lives Matter movement is because we don't like how we being treated. But then when we get treated better, it's like, no, not like that. I don't want to be treated good. Like, no,
I'm saying that. Like, I don't want to be labeled as a victim. I don't want to be looked at as a victim. I don't want to be looked at like I'm hypersensitive, that you can't talk to me like a regular person. I don't want comedians to stop doing Black jokes.
As far as it being all in your mind. Because for me, if somebody is treating me well and giving me gift cards and stuff like that, I'm gonna take it. Just like if I go to a school and they want to give me a scholarship, a full free ride because I'm Black. Thank you very much, because my ancestors paved the way. They suffered. So if I'm going to reap, if this is the most reward that I can reap, is you treating me nice and you giving me a gift card and you giving me $100,000 scholarship to school. Thank you very much, because guess what? That's going to give me the ability to now treat my children better and to maybe treat somebody else better because I was treated nice that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, as Black people, we have to choose what we want. Do we want to be treated well, or do we want to be treated like we ain't shit? You know what I'm saying?
Or are we treated? Do you feel like you're treated like you ain't shit?
You don't know if you can't accuse somebody of being ingenuine, but just because you feeling like it's fake, that don't mean that it's fake. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's all levels, like, and regarding like where we came from to where we are now, when people are giving us respect, even if they feel like they have to, then so be it, because we deserve it. We people, we just like any other race. There's nothing different about us other than the color of our skin, and we shouldn't have to be fighting in the street and freaking protesting to be treated like a human. You know what I'm saying?
Which we've been doing for years, and that's what I said a couple of weeks ago. We've been protesting and fighting for years for a group of people to treat us like human beings. Why do we have to freaking beg people to love us? We shouldn't have to do that. That's my whole point. We should not have to do that. No. Well, treat us like human beings, or treat us with respect that we're lacking respect and whatever. We're pretty much marching and protesting for that now in 2020. 2020, we had to really do that to open up people's eyes is a problem. And I'm not saying it's a problem on our end, it's a problem on their end. So why the hell, just like the Oscars, Black people, actors, oh, we never win Oscars. Make your own damn award ceremony. Why are you begging for their Oscars?
Well, we do.
Fuck their Oscars. I know that. I know we do. But guess what? You're still crying for an Oscar though. That's my whole point. If they don't want you, why are you banging down their door? Let's make our own doors. Let's make our own communities. Mel Sama, I think he posted in our group that we have, Urban Universe. He posted in the group, there's a little town in Georgia that costs like 1.4 million or whatever to own. That is where I want to see our money go. I want to see us, since we're all serious and we're all like, okay, let's go with this movement and we're on it. Where's the money at? Let's all put in the money. We got big celebrities that are billionaires. Where's the money at? Let's build up that community and start from scratch right then and there. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is cancel culture. I'm going to cancel you because I don't have what you have. And that's it. You cancel them and then that's it. There's no, where's the plan after you cancel them? There's no plan. All right, so now you're canceled. Hold on. I'm going to scream Black Lives Matter. Care for me, love me, protect me, respect me. Now I got your respect, your love, and care. Where's the plan after that? There's still no plan.
But I feel like the best way for us to get results is stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. We have to start as individuals with our own movement, and that radiates within our circle. Right. If me, you, and Joe was to start a business right now, anybody that is in our immediate circles is going to be inspired to start their own business. That's how the chain of, just cause and effect. Wait, hold on, because you keep cutting me off. Every time we sit there and we worry about what everybody else is doing, let's say somebody had a failed business. Oh, I'm not going to start my business because this person couldn't do it. What that got to do with me? I feel like as a community, that is our worst problem. Worrying about what everybody else is doing and what results they haven't had, and therefore we're not even going to try. You know what I'm saying? Let Joe talk because he's been trying to get into.
I know. I was trying to tell you.
It's only because I ain't drinking. It's only because I ain't drinking right now. But hey, and I love Brandy, man. You also, I like how your approaches and your views, and you're different. So it's not a complete consensus all the time. So I appreciate you.
Never a dull moment with Brandy.
Well, yeah, right. No question about it.
Yes, and
so going back to what you said about the, how people are treating us, and you feel like that it's fake and phony. I think it starts somewhere, because if you look at it from a different angle, if it was somebody that was Caucasian and they get treated that way, then why should we deserve the same treatment? You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact. You know what I'm saying? If our main goal at the end of the day is be treated human and be treated equally, because that's what we always ask for, equal treatment, then I don't see there's why it's nothing wrong with it. There's plenty of fake and phony people, but that's just not for me to go through the day and be like, okay, you fake. Oh, that's genuine. Oh, that's fake. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I take it for how it comes. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's a handicap. I feel like by people painting that big old yellow symbol of Black Lives Matter, it's going to be a constant reminder to, not to forget the cause. Because there's some real changes getting made, especially down here in the South.
Okay. Like what? Because you're down south, and I really want to know, like, do you feel like there's changes being made?
Yeah, they are. And it starts with the Confederacy, because these people, like I said, I run into people that were really, I come to customers that be like, hey, before they say hello, it's not, hate is heritage. That's the first thing they tell me as a black person. So that tells me you're guilty of something that I don't even care about. I'm just coming to do your cable. You know what I'm saying? But it's on your mind because you see me as a black person. You wouldn't say it to a white. You wouldn't say it to a white technician. You know what I'm saying? So and then with these changes where the changes are happening is when you say, okay, they tearing down these statues. Those things deserve to be in a museum. If you want to see them when you want to see them, then you can go to a museum. Just like you want to see African art, you go to a museum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be, but those statues are imposed in our society, and they be like, okay, that's a form of supremacy.
It's a reminder.
Yeah, so exactly. So remove it, make the playing field equal. If you want to see, if it's about heritage for you and not hate, go see it in a museum. Ain't got to be on the street. Street name ain't got to be Confederate Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's a cause and effect.
Because I want to know if they put. Go ahead, Joe. No, I mean, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Like all these colleges, they getting these Confederate name changes. The military bases getting the name changes. This is a long time coming. Regardless of how all right, we've been doing it for years and years and years. It's still a chip away effect. It's still chipping away, and eventually.
Let me just throw a question out for both of y'all. How do y'all feel about the celebrities who are voiceovers for Black characters who are stepping down after 20 years of caking? Now all of a sudden they want to step down, like, oh, I don't feel like I should play the voice of what's the black guy? Not Family Guy, the black guy.
Oh, from Cleveland.
Cleveland is a white guy that plays him, so he's stepping down because he feels like it should be a black character that plays him. How do y'all How do you feel about that?
Good, because that's equivalent to blackface as far as I'm concerned. Why is a white man doing a voice for a black person? They couldn't find a black person to do this man voice. I mean, to me, that's like equivalent to blackface. Okay. How can they have a representation, an accurate representation of a black man if it's not played by a black man? That means that a cartoon is satire. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. How about you, Joe?
As far as the
white voiceovers for black characters.
I mean, I don't feel no kind of way about it either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if everybody's entitled to their opinion. If he feels a certain kind of way about it, then that's and it bothers him within his heart. Then that's something that he can make that choice on. And I don't think it adds or I don't think it decreases or adds to the value of what Black people are trying to do, but it helps in the sense that somebody's standing up and in their own sense, in their own mind, and feel like something's not right about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of stuff, the frustration that a lot of Black people are feeling, like B mentioned, as far as like the cartoon, and for me, the syrup, the Aunt Jemima, they're taking her picture off because it's degrading. I feel like
all of that.
This Black Lives Movement is detrimental in a sense that it's causing white people to focus on the wrong thing. Like, we don't care about syrup. You know what I'm saying? I feel like those issues are kind of superficial and on the surface of exactly we need police reform. Okay, we need people to be held accountable for killing Black people that are authority figures. We don't need the syrup people. Right. That should be the after effects of everything bigger. We need justice for Breonna Taylor. Okay, we need justice for the so many names. I can't even name.
And that's where I have the problem with the cancel culture, because once you start projecting and putting that as the forefront of the problem for Black people, as far as cancel this, cancel that, those things get swept under the rug. Those big issues. They're like, well, we got rid of Aunt Jemima. We gave you a street sign that says Malcolm X Boulevard. We gave you a Black Lives Matter. What more do you want from us? And that is the biggest problem, my people. We do not want anything from any other race. What we want is for us to become dominant and to take over and control our own shit. That is what we need. We don't need Warner Brothers and the Rockefellers. I mean, shit, if we can get some of their money, yeah, that'd be nice. But we don't really need them. We have them, exactly. You know, on my Cash App, $ Brandon B. No, that's what we need to focus on, how to become those type of people. How do we get into that position of power? How do we get into that financial position? I think that we move very loudly. Everybody knows what we do. They can see it from a mile away. They're going to march. They're going to preach. They're going to yell. They're going to scream. I'm sorry, I'm loud. They're going to march.
We got to move in silence.
Oh, move in silence. Yes. Move in silence. Right. We got to move. We got to move in silence. We don't have to let everybody know when we're coming. And that's the biggest problem. If you say one racial thing, Black people, what's the first thing we get off on? Race. You do anything that looks racist, we're gonna start marching, pull out the prayer cloths, and we're gonna get Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jack. They know every move. This is a chess game. Be quiet. Let's pack up our money, get our shit together, unify as a people, stop dating outside of our race, our Black men. Bring your asses home and let's build a family and a community and move away. I am all 100%. I know this is going to sound racist, but segregation, not a racial segregation where we don't like white people, but segregation. Black people should have their own shit. We should have our own stuff because we just live different. We move differently. And I think that our lives might be a little bit better, but if we're going around canceling culture and canceling people because they called you a bad name, then you have a problem yourself. You're too goddamn sensitive, and that's my opinion about it.
Yeah.
As I sip my wine made by the white man in the white man's glass, because ain't no brother. I'm sorry. But if y'all know any Black-owned wine companies, please inbox me because I would love to support. I've been trying to change a lot of my ways, and it's not to be racist. I just feel like we've been on this earth for billions of years, or millions. I don't really know the amount. But we've been here a long ass time, and we have not yet accomplished a lot of things that we need to accomplish. Our beauty, our smarts, our wit, our wisdom, our strength. We should be at the forefront and at the top of every company, everywhere. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, shit.
And we gonna get there. Facts.
Right.
Okay.
We gonna get there, but not down statues and canceling everybody. I'm sorry.
The statues need to go. But we're gonna wrap it up, y'all.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap it up because we definitely had a good show today.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I love all my people.
No,
and B is definitely, this is her topic this week, guys. That's why we kind of
let her run with it. That's her thing.
That's why me and Joe was over here like church mouses, waiting to get a word in.
I can't wait for the playback.
Yeah, you want to see? No, don't watch it. Don't watch it tonight. Watch it tomorrow.
All right, I am.
You're gonna be like, damn, I really didn't let them talk, did I?
Going in.
Joe, you agreeing with Melissa? I'm looking at the time in the corner of my eyes.
Of course he agrees with me.
Whatever. That's that southern bullshit. Look, we can't even unify on the podcast. There's only 3 of us. We can't even get it together. Matter of fact, y'all canceled. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
you agreeing with you, B.
I'm joking. I know. I love the differences in opinions and thoughts. Believe me, I think the same way y'all think, but I just try to see both sides because I do work in a very, I work with nothing but white people, and I love y'all all. And like I said with the gift cards, when I tell them about my little gift cards, they're like, I never got a gift card. And they've been going to Starbucks for 20,000 years. So I don't know. I look at things both ways. So whatever. Maybe it's just me, but them bitches don't never get gift cards. I get all types of free shit all the time. So maybe it's my
what's the problem? You always be calling me bragging, and it was way before all of this.
It was, but I noticed it now.
She be sitting there talking about I called and I called corporate and I complained. They sent me a whole new car.
Shout out to the Apple AirPods. I got $3.99.
That's why I'm not paying attention to her. I'm not paying attention to her when she's sitting here talking about she got a problem with gift cards. Like I let it flow over my head.
Whatever.
But yeah, so we want to leave our viewers with some positive affirmations for the week because we definitely need.
Kim, you already know. Wait, I got it because Kim is on here. Kim knows about all the free 99 stuff I get.
Right, and she over here complaining, right, Kim?
I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is, please, for all the companies out there that want to drop free stuff off to me, I'll give you my address. But I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is, don't give it to me because of the color of my skin, and I just whatever. We're gonna wrap this up with some positive affirmations.
Exactly, Mel. Like that's why I said it's all in her head. She be bugging, talking about it because I'm black. All right, so for the week, who's gonna start? Joe, since you ain't talked the whole podcast, you probably have about 30 seconds. Leave our viewers with some positive affirmations for the week.
The positive affirmation for the week is
shut up. Shut up and let a nigga talk. No, go ahead, Joe. Exactly. That's why y'all single. I never want to shut your goddamn mouth.
All right. The positive affirmation for the week is do what you feel is necessary to make you happy. Don't worry about what everybody else thinks. Do you. At the end of the day, do you. If you really truly feel like you gotta do something and it's in your heart to do that, then do you. And at the end of the day, it's only you 100% responsible for your life only. And that's
Facts.
That's the affirmation for the week. Yep.
My affirmation for the week is we are young, gifted, and black. And we need to run with that. We need to run with that. We really do. We need to come together. I know it's not really an affirmation, but it's something that I hope to see in the near future. Us as brown people, we need to come together and really, really put this sensitivity to the side and focus on the issues that will move us forward. That's it.
What's up?
Well, my positive affirmation for the week is I want to learn how to trust my gut, trust my instinct, and focus on my personal future and where I see myself, where I see my family. As far as prosperity is concerned, I'm thinking to elevate. I want to elevate my mind, elevate my existence, and all of those of the lives of the people that I love and I care about.
Snap. I like that. Mel wants to know what type of wine I'm drinking. I am drinking Gallo Sweet Grapefruit Rosé. This is my go-to wine. Look, it's empty. It's a small bottle. Look, I can't even get the shit focused. I'm focused, man. Nah, this is my shit. It's really good.
All right, they ain't paying us.
Right, free
You never know. Listen. All right.
They ain't paying us yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. But thanks, guys. I had a wonderful time today.
Me too. Thank you, Lorraine. Yes.
Thank you, Lorraine, our special guest, and thank you, B, for choosing this controversial topic for today.
You can always count on me for the controversy.
She was all fired up today, Right. And Joe ready to go. So we gotta go, y'all.
Thank you, Joe, for sticking in there.
Yeah, crazy.
Bye, y'all. See you Sunday. Everybody have a wonderful weekend.
All right. I ain't doing that kissy face thing though.